was a beast! Ah!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I am Megs.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we watched 2018's Looking Glass. It stars Nicolas Cage and Robin Tunney, who you probably remember as Sarah from The Craft. I haven't really seen anything of hers since The Craft, so it was kind of enjoyable to see her. Listen, this movie is a bit of a nothing burger, so I did not do my own individual write-up. I'm just pulling this plot from Wikipedia. So let's just jump in. Nicolas Cage plays a man named Ray. Robin Tunney plays a woman named Maggie. They are married, and they've lost their child to an accident. Longing for a fresh start, they purchase a motel from Ben in a small town located somewhere in the California desert on the way to Las Vegas. Hours after their arrival, Ben calls Ray briefly and disconnects his cell phone number soon after. Due to Ben's weird behavior, Ray becomes suspicious and soon discovers a secret underground hallway leading to a tiny room with a one-way mirror that enables motel room 10 to be secretly observed. A young woman named Jessica soon moves into the motel. Ray and Maggie also make acquaintance with Tommy, a likable truck driver played by Ernie Lively, Blake Lively's father, who frequently rents room 10 in the company of a prostitute, and Howard, a local deputy sheriff who comes by the motel every few days to have coffee. Ray feels more and more uncomfortable due to Howard's and the gas station staff's odd behavior. He notices that Howard keeps asking if he knows Ben's whereabouts and that Jessica has nightly visits from another woman, Cassie, the strawberry blonde. As Maggie moves Jessica to room 10, Ray spies her and the strawberry blonde through the one-way mirror and sees them have BDSM sex. Later that night, after strawberry blonde and Ray have left, Jessica is strangled to death by a masked assailant. One night, Ray and Maggie go to a casino. As they come back, they find the slashed corpse of a pig in the motel swimming pool with a note stuffed into the stomach reading Chrissy. Ray drives to the desert and burns the corpse. As he comes back, he meets Tommy and tells him about the pig. Tommy says a young local woman named Chrissy had committed suicide in the pool by cutting her stomach open. The next morning, Howard comes over. He appears to be suspicious of Ray for not calling the police about the pig corpse. He starts to interrogate him and reveals to him that Chrissy was actually murdered on the night after Ray and Maggie had first visited the motel prior to them buying it, and that her murderer has not yet been caught. He also reveals that he spoke to the gas station staff who have had an eye on Ray ever since that visit. After Howard repeatedly asks Ray if he murdered Chrissy and Ray repeatedly nervously denies, Howard starts to laugh and appears to believe him. Ray and Maggie later see a news report about Jessica, who has been found murdered in the desert. Soon, Strawberry Blonde moves back into the motel and insists on getting room 10. Ray propositions her, but she ignores it. Later that night, Ray watches her and another woman have BDSM sex, but also notices a man sitting around the corner in the bathroom. Later, Ray hears a noise and sees a man running away from the motel after having slashed red paint on the motel. Angrily, Ray goes across the street and accuses the gas station manager of being involved, but the manager denies involvement. When Strawberry Blonde leaves, he follows her car to a bar and interrogates her about Jessica's death since she had been with her the night that she died. But Strawberry Blonde does not answer his questions, and a man attacks Ray, but Ray pulls a revolver and knocks him unconscious. He tells Strawberry Blonde to stay away from his motel. When Ray returns to the motel, Maggie is furious and reveals that Howard had interrogated her about him. Strawberry Blonde had also advised her to keep an eye on Ray. They have a fight, but Ray manages to calm Maggie down. He shows the one-way mirror to Maggie and admits to having watched the other people have sex in the room. Ray is convinced something happened in motel room 10. He decides the only way to find out is to speak to Ben. After calling many people and asking them to leave Ben a message, Ben finally calls and agrees to meet Ray in the desert. As they meet, Ben seems to be confused and is suffering from paranoia. Ray tells Ben that he knows about the one-way mirror and calls him a pervert, but Ben claims that he was only studying human sociology. Ben offers to return 50% of the purchase price to Ray and then advises him to leave town immediately. Suddenly, a bullet strikes Ben in his chest and kills him. Ray sees a car speeding off in the distance. Realizing that he's in danger, Ray calls Maggie and asks her to pack up their things. Upon arriving at the motel, Ray notices Howard's police car in the parking lot and finds signs of a struggle in his apartment. Looking through the one-way mirror, he sees Maggie gagged and tied to the bed, with Howard lying in wait for him. Howard tells Maggie that he plans to kill her and Ray, making it look like Ray killed her and then committed suicide. Ray lures Howard to the mirror, then breaks through it and attacks him. Howard says that he now understands how Ben knew what he did, revealing why he was so anxious to find him. They have a scuffle, but Ray manages to get a hold of a pistol and kills Howard. He frees Maggie, and they speed off by car. The end. Elizabeth?
Yes, dear.
What did you think of this movie?
This movie is so boring.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's a snooze fest.
It's incredibly dull. It's not very fleshed out.
It's trying so hard to be this taut thriller.
Yeah.
And it is just failing on every level.
Yeah, it's really not good. Which makes it, honestly, even more frustrating because I feel like Nicolas Cage and Robin Tunney were excellent.
And I love Mark Blucas, who played Howard.
Yeah.
I've loved him since Buffy.
Yeah.
And he played evil really well, I thought. And I think that the relationship between Nicolas Cage and Robin Tunney was really well done. But the movie itself is just such a snore.
It's very dull.
And it's trying so hard to be this quirky, weird, David Lynchian experience.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. That is exactly what I was experiencing watching this. Like, this is trying to be way weirder than it actually is. And then, like, I don't, like, there's not a lot of players in this movie. There's, like, 5 actors total, really, that you follow. And, like, so, like, we know that there's something going on. We know that there's some kind of, like, murder issue going on. But we don't really have any suspects. Like, we have one. I think, for me, at least, I was like, oh, okay, it must be the trucker because the murders happen in room 10. He always wants to be in room 10. He's always got prostitutes. It's got to be him. And then Officer Howard shows up and he's super weird. And that's it. That's really it.
It's a bunch of people acting weird.
Yeah.
For the sake of acting weird, which is not what David Lynch does. Like, when David Lynch has weird people acting weird, there's a motive behind it.
Yeah.
And this is just not that. Try as it might.
And there's also, considering the fact that it wants to be called a thriller, there is just this extreme lack of urgency the entire time.
Yes. How fucking long does it take before the blonde is murdered?
Right. So fucking long.
It's only an hour and 45 minutes long, but it takes more than half of that to get to the first murder.
Yeah.
It takes so fucking long. It is so slowly paced that I started doing work just to entertain myself while I was watching this film.
Oh, yeah. I had to pause it several times and, just go do a chore. Like, I have some dishes that need to be washed. Like, I'll just go and do that real quick because I don't feel like watching this movie. For an hour and 40 minutes, it should have been very watchable.
Right.
And this is, I think, the third time that we've had an experience where we're watching a Nicolas Cage movie and his acting is on point. It's exactly where you want it to be. But the movie itself, the backdrop in which he is playing is just so dull and colorless. This movie felt like oatmeal. It just felt like an array of beige. Just nothing. There was no urgency. The writing was really, really weak. Despite that, we did have some really good acting from Nicolas Cage, Robin Tunney, and the others. But this movie takes so long to get off the ground. It's also not very clear, the different things that happen to them. We don't learn until, I think there's only, a good, 20, 25 minutes left. So we're well over an hour into this movie before we find out how their kid even died.
Yeah.
And then the scene where she's like, fuck you, you're cheating on me, blah, 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 when he was at the bar, confronting the prostitute, was like, stay the fuck away from my motel. And she thought he was out cheating. But, to her mind, it's, the same scenario because she was at home all fucked up on drugs and their kid, fell off the roof or something. And, that scene where she like is like, fuck you, I don't believe you, I don't trust you, and goes into the bathroom, he's like, oh no, the fuck you don't. Stops her from committing suicide, throws her into the shower, he's like, you need to calm the fuck down. Like, that whole scene is what I wanted. That's the urgency, that's the passion, that's the level of energy I had wanted in the whole movie. And we got it for like 3 minutes. So, I mean, yeah, this movie is not good. This movie, and like rightfully so on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it has an audience score of 23%. Or that's the tomato meter?
That's the tomato meter.
Yeah, it's not high, folks. And I don't know what the writers and the directors thought they were doing with this movie, but it wasn't enough. Also, like the entire plot of how Ray and Maggie acquire this motel is a little bit ridiculous. Like, they bought it off of a Craigslist ad.
Yeah.
And like at the beginning, when he's buying the motel from Ben, there is some kind of an urgency to Ben, which we do learn later is like, he was like, I need to get the fuck out of town. The fuzz know about me, knowing about them. Like, I gotta go or I'm gonna get got. But like, again, we don't see that until the last like 10 minutes of the movie. Why is he being so shady? What's up with this window? Is Ben in on it? Was he part of? There's all these lingering questions that were not satisfactorily answered.
I actually wrote the note. The end was kind of interesting because from the moment he finally gets a hold of Ben and they meet up in the desert through the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It is actually really interesting. Like,
yeah.
the intrigue steps up, the mystery steps up, the acting steps up, and you can feel this visceral sense of urgency to the plot that has just lacked for the preceding hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really dissatisfying watch. I hate when we have those situations, right? Where like the acting is actually pretty good, but everything else is shit.
So let's get to it. What would we rate this movie?
I don't think I could go any higher than a C, but like in my gut, I feel like it's a D-.
It's a D-.
Yeah. What do you think we should give the caginess of it, considering the performance that he gave us?
This is another case of 2018 Nick Cage bringing the spark. Like, he's really good in this. He's really good in this.
He is. And this is another one where they put him in the full, like 2018 was just his full beard era.
Oh yeah.
And he needs to fucking stay there because it's beautiful. You're absolutely right. Like 2018 has been his year. I don't know. How do you grade him for this?
I would give him a B. He's again doing the same thing that we said last week with Between Worlds. He's doing the best that he can given the drivel of a script that he's playing with.
Yeah, I agree.
And he is knocking it out of the park. I can't give him an A because the source material is so poor that he almost feels wasted.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I felt. Wasted. Waste of talent. It's a waste of Nicolas Cage. It's a waste of Robin Tunney. It's a waste of Mark Lucas. Like, it's just, it's a waste of their talents. And
yeah.
I know Nicolas Cage, when he shows up. Like, he shows up to work. Like, and, bless him for doing that. This was not the project. I agree with you on the B. I don't think that it should be any lower than a B. I don't think that it merits, going to an A, because even though he carried the fucking movie, I don't think that his acting was as good as it was in Left Behind, which was, he
didn't really get a chance to emote in this movie.
No.
For a man who is so haunted by the death of his child, he doesn't really have aside from that one scene where he throws her in the shower, there is no serious emotional outburst. There is no real emotion behind anything that he does.
Yeah. His character is mostly. I mean, I can understand to a degree, like the flat, emotionless state, like you're kind of just wandering through life, existing after losing your kid. But I mean, things start to happen, and he just continues, like the pig. Like there's a pig that is slashed from neck to genitals, the stomach, bled out in their pool. It's dressed in a hot pink lingerie set. And the note that's stuffed inside it is actually like a graduating, like senior portrait of the girl Chrissy who was murdered. And like, he just grabs the leaf scooper and then pulls it out and says to Maggie, go back to the room. I don't want you to have to, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. And just calmly puts it in his truck.
Yeah. He's just goes about his day. Yeah. Whereas that really should have been a scene where we see and feel his disgust, his revulsion, his curiosity, his, something larger beyond just going through the motions.
Yeah. This is a really unfortunate entry into his catalog. I feel bad for everybody that played in it. Also, I don't know if anyone, important ever listens to this, but if the people that made this movie want any kind of like advice at all, like there was so much space in this movie for you to do interesting things with color. There were so many places in this movie for you to do interesting things with props or weird music, and you just didn't. You just left it as a desert.
Which, again, are all things that Lynch would have done.
Right. Exactly. And like if that's the look that you were going for, that's where you fucked up. Because I didn't get a sense of eeriness. I didn't get a sense of suspense. I didn't get anxiety from this.
I didn't even get the what the fuckness from like a Werner Herzog film.
No. You would have expected some amount of something weird, but like this is really such a nothing burger. This is a bowl of oatmeal of a film. It's bland, it's flavorless. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. So, I mean, I don't think that I would recommend this movie to anybody.
No.
Unless you're like really bored and it happens to be available and you want to see something with Nick Cage that you haven't seen before. He does wear glasses in it. I don't know if that's not
a personality trait. I mean, wearing glasses is not a personality trait. Stop trying to make it a personality trait. What this movie is like, I know, let's give him a personality by slapping a pair of linen glasses on him.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean, his beard, I think, gets an A.
His beard gets an A.
But it always gets an A.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't recommend this movie to anybody. It was a bore to sit through. It's a snooze fest. Yeah. I mean, it was so boring. This might be the most boring film we've ever seen of his because it was so boring I couldn't even do a write-up of it because I was like, I'm going to have to like rewatch parts of it to make sure I get things in the right order. And like, I can't even bring myself to do that. It's that boring. It's that annoying. It's that bland. And it kind of feels like watching it like you're just falling into a void where like nothing exists. It's not worth it. Not worth the watch to us. All right, so we're going to end it here, folks. This is a D- movie with a B effort from Nick Cage. Don't watch it. Thank you for listening. If you've listened this far, if you followed this project along, we certainly super appreciate that you're here. Please follow us we are now on YouTube at Not the Bees. We are on our socials still on Instagram at Not the Bees Pod. You can find us on all of the regular podcasters. And if you're feeling any kind of generous, we would certainly appreciate that. You can find us on patreon.com/notthebees. Otherwise, we would just appreciate that you interact with this episode in any way, like or comment, subscribe, whatever. But that's going to be it. That's going to do it for us this week. I've been Megs.
I've been Elizabeth.
And we'll see you next time, kids.